Good morning, everybody. I am Vempati Srinivasulu, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, working at Nagarjuna Government Degree College, Nalgonda. Today, we will discuss about the remaining part of cyanides and isocyanides preparation and properties. In the previous class, what we have discussed is what are cyanides and preparation of cyanides and some properties regarding cyanides. The compounds which contain CN function group are called cyanides. These are also called as nitriles. We have discussed their nomenclature following IUPAC method and common naming method. Then we have discussed about preparation of different cyanides from different methods. Then we have discussed chemical properties of cyanides. Cyanides generally they participate addition reactions because of having triple bond in cyanide functional group. Among the properties we have discussed hydrolysis and reaction with the Grignard reagent, etc. So today we start today's class. Okay, slide show. Okay. Reduction of cyanides. So reduction of cyanides. Generally, these are the different reducing agents what we use. You see, nickel or palladium or platinum with hydrogen, lithium aluminum hydride, sodium metal in ethanol. These three reducing agents reduces our cyanide group completely into amines. Let us see the example. For example, alkyl cyanide, when it reduces with lithium aluminum hydride, it reduces to alkyl primary amine. In this reaction, our reducing agent lithium aluminum hydride provides required number of hydrogens. Then, if you see same reduction reaction with the tin chloride or NaCl or diball they reduces the cyanides incompletely. Partial reduction takes place. So these reducing agents reduces alkyl cyanides incompletely. So what happens with the cyanide, tin chloride and HCl? First, they give this salt. Addition of HCl takes place, followed by hydrolysis. It gives aldehydes. So we are getting aldehydes in this reaction. Along with aldehydes, we are getting ammonium chloride salt. Same with the diball H. You see, we are not getting salt, we are getting imine. This imine undergoing hydrolysis, in place of acidic hydrolysis, we are getting same aldehyde. So these are the reduction reactions of cyanide. So cyanides undergo reduction reaction in presence of these type of reducing agents. Nickel, platinum, palladium with hydrogen, or lithium aluminum hydride, or sodium metal with ethanol. These three reduces into primary cyanides into primary amines. In this case, if we take methyl cyanide or acetonitrile, we will get aminoethane. That means ethylamine. Take phenyl cyanide, you get aniline. These are the examples. In this next case, if the same reaction with the tin chloride HCl, methyl cyanide gives acetaldehyde. Phenyl cyanide gives benzaldehyde. With the same reactants with divalent H, it gives aldehyde plus ammonia gas. Okay, next slide. Okay, oxidation of cyanides. So cyanides, generally we are oxide reaction with mercuric oxide we have. See, these are the cyanides, alkyl cyanides with mercuric oxide. They undergo oxidation reaction by giving alkyl cyanides, cyanides, cyanides. So alkyl cyanides. So alkyl cyanides with mercuric oxide HgO. They undergo oxidation reaction by giving cyanides. Then, for example, if you take methyl cyanide or acetonitrile, we get methyl cyanate. Same reaction with phenyl cyanide, we get phenyl cyanate. This one, benzyl cyanide, this type of compound is formed. So, in general, what happens? Cyanides undergo oxidation reaction. Why these are oxidation reactions? In every reaction, a oxygen atom is adding to the reactant. So what is the reagent? Mercuric oxide is undergoing reduction. So generally in redox reactions, oxidizing agent undergo reduction. Okay, that's it. That's why mercuric oxide is converted into mercury. Next. Okay, isocyanates. Isocyanates. So far we discussed about cyanates. Now we discuss about isocyanates. So general formula of isocyanates is RNC. So RNC. This is a isomeric with cyanates. Cyanates and isocyanates are isomeric each other. These are functional isomers. So isocyanate functional group is like this: N triple bond C. A coordination bond from nitrogen to carbon. So these are the resonance structures of isocyanates. So in these structures, when the nitrogen has electron plus charge and carbon has minus charge. Okay, these are the resonating structures for isocyanate. That's why this is stable. Coming to the nomenclature, so in these isocyanates also called as carbylamines. This is carbylamines or isonitriles. So these isocyanates we call as isonitriles or carbylamines. You see the nomenclature. For example, this one, you take this one, methyl isocyanide. In methane, one of the hydrogens is replaced by isocyanide group. That's why it is methyl isocyanide or methyl isonitrile or methyl carbylamine. So coming to this one, phenyl isocyanide, isocyanobenzene, or phenyl carbylamine. Okay, coming to this one, ethyl isocyanide or ethyl isonitride or ethyl carbylamine. Coming to this one, propyl isocyanide or propyl isonitride or propyl carbylamine. So this is the naming system of isocyanates. In general, we call these are isonitrates or carbylamines. These cyanides rearranges into cyanides. Isocyanates and cyanides, they undergo, that means the conversion of cyanides into isonides takes place. These are in equilibrium with the cyanides. Then, okay, this is about nomenclature of isocyanides. Next slide. Okay, preparation of isocyanates. So we have two methods for preparation of isocyanates. In our syllabus, we have only two methods. One is from alkyl halides, other one is from with carbylamine reaction, that means from primary amines. So we'll discuss one by one. Okay, you see, alkyl halides or X, what we call is alkyl halides. When they react with the silver cyanide, it gives alkyl isocyanide or alkyl carbylamines plus silver halide. So alkyl halides, when they react with the silver cyanide, they will give corresponding isocyanides plus our alkyl halides as silver halides. For example, methyl chloride, when they react with the silver cyanide, it gives methyl isocyanide or methyl carbylamine or methyl isonitride plus silver chloride. Next, what happens? See, benzyl bromide with the silver perchlorate, it gives benzyl isonitride in place of silver cyanide. Okay, silver cyanide has to use. So in all cases, what is happening, you observe in each and every case, it is going a nucleophilic substitution taking place. Halide X is going as X minus, and NC is coming as NC minus. So this nucleophile is replacing this nucleophile. That's why it is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. So Rx, if you observe Rx, so because of having high electronegativity, X as delta minus charge. There is R, carbon with plus charge. That's why this nucleophile attacks at carbon, and at the same time halogen goes as X minus. So this is a nucleophilic substitution reaction. So what happens The same reaction with the KCl. You see KCl. Same reaction with KCl, we get cyanides. But if we use silver cyanide in place of KCl, we get isocyanate. So why this is a difference? Why? Because you see, observe carefully, potassium cyanide or sodium cyanide are ionic compounds. They easily undergo ionization reaction. By ionization, they give K plus and Cn minus. Okay. But in the case of silver cyanide, it is not an ionic compound. In addition to ionic compound, ionic character is less. Silver carbon bond is covalent in nature. Due to this covalent nature of bond, this cyanide not at all free, not ionizes into cyanide minus. That's why this attack of nucleophile takes place from nitrogen, not from carbon. Why? Because carbon is attached to silver. See carefully, silver cyanide is a covalent bond. The bond between silver and carbon is covalent in nature, less ionic percentage. So that's why ionization doesn't takes place completely. That's why nitrogen attacks, the cyanide group attacks from nitrogen as carbon is linked to silver. That's why if you get isocyanate, this is the important thing. One more approach is there. Silver cyanide undergo bond dissociation by giving nitrile radical. This nitrile radical attacks giving isonitrile. So this is the difference with KCl and silver cyanide. If we see the same reaction, if you use KCl, we'll get the cyanides, but if you use silver cyanide, we'll get what? Isocyanates, isonitriles. Coming to the second method. So first method is from alkyl halides. From alkyl halides, we have learned just now that alkyl halides, when they react with silver cyanides, they give their corresponding cyanides. So this is the reaction also known as carbyl amine reaction. This is well-known reaction. It is organic named reaction. That's why it is very important. It appeared in the examination so many times. So what is a reaction? We'll discuss with mechanism. You see, methylamine, aminomethane, when it reacts with the alcoholic chloroform and alcoholic KOH. So these are the three reactants. So one is methylamine plus chloroform plus alcoholic KOH. When we add these three, after heating this mixture, we'll get a poisonous gas, a pungent, a specific odor, a bad smell gas takes place. So by observing the foul smell, very bad smell, we can't stay in the laboratory when this gas evolves. So this is isocyanides, methyl isocyanide or carbylamine. In the same reaction, we get KCl and H2O. You see, isocyanide, KCl and H2O. This is a balanced equation. This reaction is known as carbylamine reaction. Why it is carbylamine? In this reaction, we are getting a carbylamine as a product. That's why it is known as carbylamine reaction. This reaction is very useful in the laboratory to identify whether a given amine is a primary amine or not. With this reaction, we can differentiate primary amine from secondary and tertiary amines. This is the importance of this reaction. So, for example, what is the example? So amines, I told you amines, primary amines. So this is a methylamine. Methylamine, when it reacts with chloroform with alcoholic NaOH or KOH, on heating of this mixture, we get methyl isocyanide, methyl carbylamine, or methyl isonitrile. Along with these, you get potassium chloride and water molecule. So this is a gas. It has a foul smell. Okay, next reaction. Aniline, aminobenzene. It is also primary amine, but it is aromatic amine. Aliphatic and aromatic primary amines also gives this test. So aniline with chloroform and very less small amount of chloroform is required. When you take 2 ml of aniline, if you add 2-3 drops of chloroform and 1 ml of alcoholic which is enough. By adding these three, mixture of these three, just we take the test tube and heat for a while, 1 or 2 minutes. Then a poisonous gas evolving takes place. A foul smell is a very important characteristic test. It is a characteristic odor. We can't stay in the laboratory by inhaling this gas. So this is a test. So in general, aliphatic or aromatic primary amines, when they react with this chloroform and alcoholic KOH, the foul smell gas isocyanates evolving takes place. That's why by observing this gas smell of the gas, we easily identify or differentiate primary amines from secondary and tertiary amines. So what is the mechanism? If you observe the mechanism, what happens in this reaction is first intermediate dichlorocarbene preparation. First step is, in the first step, our base alcohol, in place of alcohol, a base abstracts a proton from this chloroform. CHCl3 is chloroform, bromoform, iodoform, like that. Dichloromethane we can as chloroform. So this chloroform is having one hydrogen which is linked to carbon. This carbon is in turn linked to 3 chlorine atoms which are more electronegative. That's why this carbon hydrogen bond becomes polar. This carbon hydrogen bonds become polar. That's why carbon, because of having electrophilic nature, electron deficient nature, this attracts bond electron towards carbon. That's why this hydrogen goes as H plus. This H plus is attracted by hydroxide ion by forming water. So we get CCl3 minus. Okay, so chloroform, it gives a proton. It loses a proton by forming CCl3 minus. This CCl3 minus leaves one Cl minus to the K plus. So one Cl is leaving as Cl minus. That's why you get dichlorocarbene. This is a very reactive intermediate. It is a neutral electrophile. So what is electrophile? We know that a species with electron deficiency. So you see the carbon, central atom carbon in dichlorocarbene. See, carbon is having two bonds, one bond and second bond, which is 4 electrons, one non-bonded pair. So that's why this is having 6 electrons. That means out of 8 electrons, we have 6 electrons around the carbon atom. That's why it is electron deficient. That's why it acts as electrophilic reagent. It is a very stable reactive intermediate. So this stable reactive intermediate, what happens? It when the presence of an amino group, so amine is in amine, nitrogen has electron pair. This electron pair donates to the discard dichlorocarbon. Why? This is a acid base reaction. Electron pair donor is a base, electron pair acceptor is acid. Why it accepts electrons? The dichlorocarbon is having one vacant electron. It is electron deficient due to it has only 6 electrons. That's why it accepts electron from amines. So amine donates electron pair as nitrogen having 1 electron pair. That's why bond carbon and nitrogen bond takes place. You see, this is a new bond. You see this bond, new. This is a new bond, nitrogen carbon bond. So after formation of this bond, nitrogen becomes plus charge, but at the same time, this proton Hs goes as plus and Cl goes as Cl minus. So after this loss of HCl, we get this type of compound. You see RNH plus double bond C minus Cl. At the same time, OH abstracts one proton from hydrogen and K plus abstracts HCl from this side. So at the same time, one KCl also, one HCl leaves. So this attracts electron pair. At the same time, this goes as Cl minus. So that's why and nitrogen has a plus charge as it is, and it forms a corresponding isocyanide. Isocyanide. This is the mechanism for carbyl-amine reaction. So in this reaction, dichlorocarbon is a reactive intermediate. This is very important. In carbyl-amine reaction, the intermediate is dichlorocarbon. It is a neutral electrophile. Generally, electrophile has plus charge, but it doesn't have any plus charge. That's why it is called neutral electrophilic reagent, reactive intermediate. So in this reaction, I repeat once again. First, what happens? From chloroform, hydroxide base abstracts one proton. It forms CCl3 minus. This CCl3 minus, after leaving Cl minus to the K plus, it forms a dichlorocarbene, a neutral electrophile. This neutral electrophile attacks on amine by giving new NC bond. Generally, we observe CC bond, CO bond, but in this case, CN-NC bond or CN bond is taking place. Then, after relieving of 2 moles of HCl, it is giving isocyanides. This is a isocyanides. So this is the mechanism for carbyl-amine reaction. So carbyl-amine reaction, what is carbyl reaction? Primary amines, when they react with the chloroform and alcoholic KOH, on heating of this mixture, you will get a foul smell gas, which is known as isocyanides or carbylamines. These carbylamines are exist as a gaseous phase. These gases are having very bad, unpleasant, foul smell. By observing this foul smell, we can easily tell that the gas is evolved. By evolving this gas, we can confirm the given amine is the given compound may be primary amine. So this is about what carbylamine is. So far, we have discussed two preparation properties of isocyanates. One is from alkyl halides using silver cyanide. Second is from amines, primary amines from carbylamine reaction. Next slide. Properties of cyanides. Okay. So we have different properties. So these are the properties we studied about regarding cyanides: hydrolysis, addition to Grignard, addition to hydrolysis reaction, addition to Grignard reagent, reduction reaction, oxide reactions. All these reactions are we discussed about cyanides, but in this case, this reaction doesn't take place with the isocyanates. Why? Because in the isocyanates, carbon is having not acts as a nucleophilic electrophilic center. Already we seen in the previous class, in the previous lecture, alkyl magnesium halides adds to the cyanide group. In this addition reaction, this R minus acts as a nucleophile. It requires electrophilic carbon. But this cyanide isocyanide group, carbon is not having plus charge. Carbon is having minus charge. That's why this reaction, addition of Grignard reagent to isocyanates doesn't take place. So remaining three reactions will study. First one is hydrolysis. So what is hydrolysis? We already know addition of water to a system is called hydrolysis. Generally this reaction takes place either in acidic or basic conditions. So in acidic condition, isocyanates, when they react with acidic water or H2O plus or HCl, aqueous HCl, that means acidic conditions, it undergo reaction with water by giving a special type of compound, this RNHCHO. This on further hydrolysis on breaking of this carbonyl bond get amine and formic acid. So in this reaction, you see the same reaction with cyanates. Cyanates on hydrolysis, it gives acids, carboxylic acids with ammonia. Whereas isocyanates, this on hydrolysis gives amines, primary amines plus one formic acid. So primary amine is a compound with less number of carbons. One carbon is less when we compare to corresponding isocyanate. So this isocyanates on hydrolysis in presence of acid, it will give primary amine and formic acid. So by evaluating of primary formic acid, we can differentiate cyanates and isocyanates from with using this test. Cyanates and hydrolysis, it also gives acids, but ammonia gas evolves, takes place. Ammonium salt or ammonia, okay, salt, ammonia gas or ammonium salt takes place addition as a byproduct. But in the case of isocyanates, no ammonia gases evolves. That's why we can confirm or we can differentiate cyanates from isocyanates with the hydrolysis test. So this is a hydrolysis. So I repeat, isocyanates on reaction with water in presence of acid, it gives primary amines with formic acid. For example, if you see isocyanates. You see isocyanates, for example, methyl isocyanate. You see, this is an example for alkyl isocyanates. This methyl isocyanate on reduction with water on hydrolysis, it gives first give this compound on final hydrolysis it gives methylamine, aminomethane plus formic acid. So when we see the compound, this carbon is having two carbons, 1, 2, but this amine is having one carbon. So one carbon is leaving the substrate as formic acid. So evaluating the formic acid indicates it may be isocyanide. This is hydrolysis test. Okay. Then okay. Reduction reaction. So reducing agents, that means lithium aluminum hydride or nickel or platinum or palladium with hydrogen, all these acts as reducing agents. So these are isocyanates. You see isocyanates on reaction with any one of the reducing agent, either lithium aluminum hydride or nickel hydrogen gas with nickel metal as a catalyst. It gives secondary amine. You see, this N is attached to two carbons. One is this one is this one. That's why it is secondary amine, 2-degree amine. So we can differentiate this reaction. We can, by using this reaction also, we can differentiate isocyanates from cyanates. So cyanates gives primary amines with same number of carbons, and isocyanates, the same reaction, it gives secondary amine with same number of carbons. For example, if you see this reaction, methyl isocyanate, methyl isonitrate, on reaction with lithium aluminum hydride, it is giving N-methyl methylamine or NN-dimethylamine, dimethylamine. It's a secondary amine. Why it is secondary amine? This nitrogen is linked to two alkyl groups. Nitrogen having one hydrogen. If it has two hydrogens, primary amine. One hydrogen, secondary amine. No hydrogen, tertiary amine. So that's why you can say this is a secondary amine. So isocyanates on reaction with lithium aluminum hydride, lithium aluminum hydride acts as reducing agent. It provides number of required number of hydrogen atoms. So in this case, what how many we require? Four hydrogens are required. So lithium aluminum hydride provides four hydrogen atoms to the methyl isocyanide molecule. That's why this is reducing to secondary amine. Then, for example, one more example. You see, this is a ethyl carbylamine. On reduction with lithium aluminum hydride, it's giving N-methyl ethylamine. So this is also secondary amine. The name of the compound is this is N-methyl ethylamine. So same reaction with phenyl isocyanate, which giving N-methyl aniline. So these are the different reducing reactions of isocyanates. So I repeat, isocyanates, isocyanides undergo reduction reaction in terms of lithium aluminum hydride or different reducing agents like nickel, metals like nickel, platinum or palladium. These metals, any one of the metal with hydrogen gas, these acts as good reducing agents. These agents reduces our isocyanates to secondary amines. So that is the reaction. In each case, we are getting secondary amine. Observe carefully. This is a methyl isocyanate giving dimethylamine. This is a ethyl isocyanate giving N-methyl ethanamine. So phenyl isocyanate is giving N-methyl aniline. So this is a uh, reduction reaction. Coming to oxidation reaction. So if you just we discussed about cyanides oxidation reaction. Cyanides on reaction with mercuric oxide giving cyanate. In similar way, our isocyanates also oxidizes in terms of nitric oxides by giving isocyanate. This is very important compound. These cyanates and isocyanates are useful in synthesis of different fungicides and pesticides, different especially fungicides and pesticides. These are very pesticidic activity. So that's why these are used as reactants for different fungicides and pesticides and insecticides. So, um, so in general, isocyanides on oxidation reaction. Why oxidation reaction? In this reaction, a net oxygen is one atom oxygen is adding to the isocyanide. So this is the oxidation reaction. So for example, if you see one example, okay. For example, if you see observe carefully, this is methyl isocyanide. This is methyl isocyanide. CH3NC. CH3NC. This is methyl cyanide. This methyl cyanide on oxidation reaction with nitric oxide, it is being, you see, methyl isocyanate. You see carefully, this is the compound. Methyl isocyanate. This is methyl isocyanate. In short, we call as MIC. MIC. Methyl isocyanate. It is a very well-known gas. In the Bhopal tragedy, it is a gas responsible for tragedy. This is a very poisonous gas. Even though it is poisonous, it is very useful in synthesis of different agriculture pesticides in the agriculture industry. Especially these are used to prepare for pesticides, insecticides, and fungicides. Okay, so this is about oxidation reactions. So oxidation of cyanides gives cyanates. Oxidation of isocyanates gives isocyanate. Methyl isocyanate is a uh, the gas responsible in Bhopal gas tragedy in Carbide Company, Union Carbide Company. It's a very notorious incident in our Indian industry, Indian environment. Okay, this is today's class. What we have discussed is a quick recap. So in this class, we have discussed reduction reaction of cyanides and oxidation reaction of cyanides. After that, we started isocyanides. So what are isocyanides? These are called carbylamines also. Carbylamines or isonitriles. So nomenclature, structure of isocyanate and preparation of isocyanates from two methods we have discussed. One is um, one is from alkyl halides. So alkyl halides on reaction with the silver cyanide, it gives isocyanates. And second reaction is carbylamine reaction. It's well known. We have discussed in the carbonyl compound chapter and amines chapter. It's a very important reaction. And we have learned the reaction with mechanism and followed by chemical properties, especially three chemical properties: hydrolysis reaction, addition reaction, and oxidation reaction. So in this case, isocyanates doesn't react with the Grignard reagent. Why? Because in this Grignard reagent addition reactions, R group, alkyl group, as acts as a nucleophile, it seeks electrophilic carbon, whereas isocyanates doesn't provide any electrophilic carbon. That's why a reaction with the Grignard reagent doesn't take place. Methyl isocyanate is a MIC, it also known as MIC. It is responsible for Bhopal tragedy, Bhopal gas tragedy in Madhya Pradesh Union Carbide Company. So this is about today's class. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you very much.